My name is Calliope, daughter of the sky god Zeus, and muse of much renown. Sit here, at my perfumed feet, as my poem unfolds before you, an epic that springs from the depths of the sea and finds its end upon strange shores. For this is your story, the story of Argonus, son of Argus the shipbuilder and friend to Jason the hero. Our tale begins like many a sailor's story before it, with tragedy and a lilting song that carries from one dark wave to the next. Awaken. Book 1. The Blight. A frozen scream is etched upon the face of bewitched Typhus, helmsman of the Argo. Never again shall he foretell the rising of black waves. This owl seems unaware of its preternatural perch, and unconcerned with the plight of a shipwrecked sailor. "'Tis but a single plank, no doubt from a sunken ship." This statue would appear newly struck, as the salt of the sea has yet to assail its stone. This hound was not spared the fate that befell the other inhabitants of this isle. 'Tis naught but a fisherman's net, set so the west winds can reach its sodden threads. This rotten timber is too small to be a yard for the mast. Acastus, the son of King Peleus and a lifelong consort, reaches in vain, his sun-baked flesh now that of ashen stone. This statue, if it could be called thus, is that of Hylas, a man whose hands brought ore to water not but a day ago. Light glints off this strange carved stone, half buried in the sand. Her planks broken and her floorboards shattered, this skiff offers naught but harbour to small fish. Abundant with boughs of leaves, this mosaic appears to be made of limestone, and thus surprised. No craftsman could sculpt a child so lifelike, nor create that which now stands. The death that haunts this isle did not spare even a child from its sorcerous wrath. This statue is of Amphitrite, Queen of the Sea. Sadly, the goddess did little to hinder the decimation that litters these rocky shallows. "'Tis the faithful Argo, her weathered hull rent, her stalwart crew scattered, dead or lost to the endless sea. A faint melody can be heard as the sea wind blows past her figurehead.
May these words recount the strange toils of Argonus, chronicler and maker of maps, washed up on strange shores and awakened by the voice of a goddess. What brought me thus, kneeling upon white sands? 'Twas a fell song, carried from one wave to the next, until it met the faithful Argo and pulled her deep, shattering both bow and stern. Now she lies broken amongst sharp rocks, never again to bring men to great adventure. Oh, and what adventures! All that could have been and now will never be. They are as foam upon pounding surf. The fickle gods, the very ones to whom this sailor offered tribute, have scorned us, forsaken us without rebuke or counsel. They have cast me upon bedeviled sod and set horrors before my eyes. My brethren, the fabled Argonauts, are no more. Men I supped with just a day hence are now naught but pallid and sorcelled stone, to be ravaged by wind and storm. Indeed, I am a man of many sorrows, but shall I not press onward? For good or ill? Mayhap the blight that has taken these brave men has not overcome all. Though my body's weary, my brow feverish, I shall not abandon them. So says Argonus, son of the shipbuilder Argus.
While the foundation of this temple is interred, the architrave and frieze of the entablature remains. This wild sheep appears interested in nothing more than the grasses that grow upon this beach. An impossible horse with snow-white wings grazes upon a hillock, unaware, whether spooked or merely provoked. The stallion launches itself from the cliffside before mighty wings carry it far above the awestruck sailor below. Though salty mists shroud their form, there is no denying the women upon the rocks. For even from here, the lure of the siren's song is strong. Nearly 200 men high, the massive bronze soldier stands silent, enthralled by the euphonious song rising from below. A semblance of Pasiphae, the immortal daughter of the sun god Helios, guards the massive stone doors are cradled by the sheer cliff face. This statue is of Minos, the king of Crete and son of Zeus and Europa. Tis Palamonius, son of Olenane Lernus, whose bodily frame and valor no man could match. Long, twisted necks adorn the pitted surface of this stone tablet. This child was not struck down by mortal ills, but surely by something that is beyond this world. This young woman, most likely a temple worshipper, seems to have been frozen in time. This grotesque statue is that of Honorable Castor, skilled to guide swift-footed steeds. Finding a trinket such as this upon these shores, let alone within the boughs of this tree, must surely be a portent. An unseen hand forces Argonus from his feet and into a dense thicket skirting the stone path. A soothing voice murmurs in his ear as the sailor witnesses the passage of things only spoken of in tall tales, and even then, in whispers. "Be quiet for but a moment," the voice counsels. Once the otherworldly creatures fade from sight, Argonus pulls himself from the dust and gazes skyward. Before him, held aloft, is a handsome woman, replete with glory and power. How many times must fair Athena save one man? The immortal asks, her head tilted with uncommon grace, her eyes soft. Before words can form on Argonus's lips, she continues. "'Tis not a query to be answered so readily, sailor of the Argo. Shadows gather," she says. "There is a blight upon this isle. Have you not seen its handiwork? The flesh of your companions no longer flesh. Their bones, that of the earth." The woman's eyes drop. "I fear my own hand may have set these dire events into motion. For this, I will make amends. But know well, many of your brethren yet live, for I have seen them with my own eyes. Find them, Argonus of Crete, and as I did for your father before you, I shall provide a boat and passage from this isle. You have the word of fair Athena." Not a heartbeat later, the goddess is gone, and breath gladly returns to the sailor's lungs. "'Tis Phalurus of the Ashen Spear. The statue is certainly that of the hero Oileus, peerless in courage and strong in spirit. One can become extremely ill, consuming the berries from this black nightshade. Paul Canthus, son of Abas. Hail, strong Erobotes, the son of Iris. Calais was a welcome comrade. Taenarus has lost a great son in Euphemus. He was the most swift, no doubt struck by the hand of an Argonaut. The head of the Hydra lies lifeless, its flesh still warm to the touch. 'Tis the visage of strong Asterius, son of Hipparas, if not for its stone plight. This Mythosian Hydra is like the one said to have been brought low by Heracles during his 12 labors. This wayfarer's spear is both a formidable weapon and a sailor's crutch. If not for its stone plight, this Mythosian Hydra is like the one said to have been brought low by Heracles during his 12 labors. While it appears to be chiseled from the same rock, this stone is small ticks, like droplets of water, emanate from within this stone pedestal. The stone drops neatly into the groove, and the great eye slowly moves, revealing a hidden passageway. An intricate carving of a fish betrays which god inhabits the temple beyond. This woman was no doubt on her way to pay tribute within the temple. Her last moments of horror remain etched upon her face. Ancient tome in hand, this priest was caught unawares, and is now made of the same stone as the... While this woman was surely an attendant of the temple, even the pious have not been spared the bewitchment that has befallen this isle. Unlike the unearthly statuary that inhabit this isle, this towering statue of Poseidon shows the workmanship of a master sculptor's hand. The lovely purple color of this flower conceals its poisonous nature. While the tip of this spear may no longer be fit for battle, it may still serve another purpose, albeit one more pedestrian. Using the broken spear, Argonus plucks the necklace from its roost before laying it about his neck. This necklace is not unlike one that was worn by Peleus, the son of the great sea god himself. Removing the necklace, Argonus holds it before the statue, praying silently that Poseidon recognizes it and grants audience to a weary wayfarer. The great sea god does not disappoint. Within seconds, marble shudders, foundations shake, and the heart of Argonus is quickened. The Lord of all waters speaks.
Who would call upon Poseidon, only to be found wanting of tribute or song?
Poseidon stretches forth his arm.
Where are my consorts and vassals? Look about you. You may seek them, but they will not be found. They have deserted me, forsaken me in this darkest of hours. And who has set loose the scourge that you have borne witness? Athena's puppet, the son of Danae and Zeus himself.
The sea god pauses for a moment, taking measure of the sailor before him.
Yet, even so, my anger is not fit to be laid upon the shoulders of my bondservants, let alone set upon one whose necklace bears my mark. Leave me to my grief and seek me no more. I have opened a way for you. Take it if you wish, or abandon it. It matters little.
The statue of the sea god turns his gaze away from the sailor and speaks no more. Clearly caught unawares, this simply dressed man hinders entrance into or egress from this building. Although no fire burns within, this clay stove is still warm to the touch. In contrast to the fine statuary on this aisle, this table is poorly constructed. Uncovered food such as this is sure to draw flies. The blight of which Athena spoke has left the simple robe of this man betrays him as an attendant. Never again shall this beast of burden pull cart or dray beneath a scorching sun. Of men who would share the toils of his brethren, none compare to fair Asterion. Having survived the wreck of the Argo, Agamedus, a brave comrade, fell to bewitch. Lord Poseidon spared neither the mighty Argo nor her oarsman Danaus, whose once tanned flesh is now made of the same sharp rocks about him. Here stands strong Coronis, warder of Ocalia and friend to all who put oar to Poseidon's dark waters. A small opening, no wider than 2 shields, can be seen in the cliff's face. Argonus places the ladder against the rocky cliff before driving the legs into the wet sand. Now nothing more than sodden planks, this skiff is a home to small crabs and fish. The great Phidias of Athens himself could not craft a sculpture so lifelike, yet lifeless. Neither man nor woman is granted mercy from the scourge that stalks this isle. Neither discarded coins nor any telltale markings can be seen within. Sadly, pleading for one's life will not deter that which relishes in bringing both horror and death. Poorly made wooden chairs frame an equally paltry table. This large shelf is stocked with various vases and bowls. A few uninteresting items rest upon this table. This cart is in fine shape and only in need of an ox or horse. This sack likely contains grain, or perhaps corn. This parchment is inscribed with 3 illustrations of native flora. Next to each is a name and a brief description. Datura, purple trumpet flower. Black nightshade, white flowers with berries. Mandragora, green leaves with red flowers. Near the bottom is a drawing of fire, and within it, a single word: sleep. One can become extremely ill, consuming the berries from this black nightshade. Both the leaves and berries of this black nightshade are dropped unceremoniously into the bowl. Without fanfare, the purple flower is added to the mixing bowl. The sailor pulls the mandragora from his satchel and places it in the mixing bowl. The bowl filled, Argonus crushes the ingredients into a pulpy mix, one that smells faintly of lavender. Argonus takes the newly created mixture and drops it into the small pouch. Uncovered food such as this is sure to draw flies. Argonus places the tablet onto the wall. With a grunt of satisfaction, Argonus finds the correct spot for the piece of sandstone. The piece of sandstone fits snugly within the hole. Argonus sets the piece within the mosaic tapestry. Tireless winds blow past the form of fair Alcon, who was well skilled at inferring from sun and star the stormy winds. The form of a child, still in mid-stride, is no more than a lifeless statue within tall grass. Having endured sore afflictions and beached ships, 'tis sad to see Aureus, son of Bias, 'tis Argonus, whose lyre charmed stubborn rocks upon the mountains and the course of rivers. Zetes, the son of Boreas, shall stand battle-ready for all eternity. Whatever prayers of supplication this woman lifted to the gods went unheeded and apparently unanswered. The eyes of this man appear as if pleading, begging to be released from a stone prison. Provoked by the wandering sailor, the great statue of Hera moves, her unblinking eyes falling upon Argonus.
Who are you, Argonus? Historian? Storyteller? Map-maker? Of these things I have no need. 'Tis a warrior's heart I seek.
With that, the goddess turns away and becomes stone once more. Sword raised, Argonus calls upon Hera, praying the great goddess will reveal herself. The mother of Ares obliges the sailor when the statue slowly comes to life and stone lips part.
Argonus,
She says,
stand where you are and move no closer, for you are on holy ground. I have watched you from afar. I have seen your mettle. I have felt your anguish. Did you know that the gods feel anguish as well? Perhaps not for fallen comrades, but certainly for that which has been taken from us. Zeus's pets have taken to roost, defiling my golden orchard, which now lies fallow. I need but one warrior who would reclaim it, reclaim my honor. Would the name of Argonus be immortalized thus?
Argonus says nothing and raises his sword once again. Hera nods even as the sailor feels her eyes move from his face to his chest, and then finally resting upon his weapon.
But this sword is ill-suited for such a task. Its blade is dulled, but I will grind it fine. Its tip broken, but I will make it like new.
Hera transforms the weapon, reshaping the steel with nothing more than a wave of her hand. As Argonus marvels at the restored sword, Hera reverts to stone, but not before a final warning.
Prove yourself, sailor of the Argo, and you shall be rewarded. Fail in this, and not even Athena can save you.
The stone piece appears to fit perfectly into the space on the wall. Argonus places the tablet onto the wall. The mosaic piece that occupied this space is missing. Argonus drives the enchanted sword into the Hydra's mouth. But even using considerable force, the sailor of the Argo can extract no more than 3 of the beast's teeth. These 3 teeth of the Hydra are said to have preternatural power, imbued by the gods themselves. Surely King Jason or fair Cadmus could attest to such. As if awaiting the first act of a great play, a circle of tall, silent stones surround Argonus as he reaches for the teeth of the Hydra. With a sweep of his arm, he tosses them into the shallow water, like a farmer sowing his field after winter's winds have faded. The ground trembles beneath the sailor's feet, followed by an uneasy silence. Then, one by one, skeletal foot soldiers rise, their stalwart shields bearing the mark of the very thing that birthed them. The undead warriors look to the trees and move as one toward the harpies that desecrate their branches. They engage the beasts with fury, raising sword and spear, staining the green sod below with splashes of red. After a short skirmish, the dogs of Zeus relent and are driven from the dense boughs, and into grey skies. Victorious, the skeletons remain, ensuring the safety of the goddess's orchard. It takes naught but a few heartbeats for the statue to stir, and the mother of all gods will wake.
Well done, sailor of the Argo.
Hera says.
You have driven the harpies from the boughs of my orchard. Their broad wings have taken them into the skies, and their lamentations are heard no more. And what is your reward for such courage? Gold that rests within your palm? Your name remembered in my great halls? Yes, it shall be these things,
The goddess says as she returns to stone.
but step outside this place and see if it can be so much more.
Gazing skyward, Argonus witnesses Hera's promise glide down to the earth upon wings of purest white. The owl cocks its head, as if listening. Golden apple in hand, Argonus approaches the stallion with trepidation. But the sailor's worries prove unfounded when the horse gently shakes his snow-white mane and accepts the gift. Sensing a kinship, Argonus straddles the great winged horse, and for a few moments at least, leaves the burdens of the world far below him.